There we go,
Hello?
Brooke. Yep, we
There we
got you on.
go.
Welcome.
Thank you. Well, as he said, my name is Brooke Myers and I work for the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. I'm the Program Development Manager for the conservation districts in South Carolina. And one of the tasks I have in that role is to coordinate our South Carolina Envirothon program. So like a lot of other states, we had to cancel our in-person competition. We did not want to completely forego any event for Envirothon this year. So we decided to have a virtual South Carolina Envirothon challenge. So we decided to do this because we wanted to give our students and coaches a morale boost during this time, and also to try to keep South Carolina relevant with our students and coaches. And we decided to do this as, instead of a competition, a more individual, self-paced challenge that's for the individual rather than competing against other students. To start this, I looked into several different platforms. I looked into the quizzing platforms, surveying platforms, classroom platforms, and I landed on Google Forms. The reason I chose that is because it was free, and the free version of it had an unlimited number of participants. A lot of the programs out there had free versions, but it was limited to how many participants you could have. And since we weren't sure how many we would have, it was important that we didn't have a cap. And it also offered us to not have any special account that the students had to have. They just have to have an email address, and then they can access the challenge. And then another big feature that was important is I didn't have to have a roster. I didn't have to tell Google Forms who would be participating. It allows me to just send it to our coaches, and they can forward it to their students, and then they can choose if they want to participate. I don't need to know in advance who exactly is participating. Another great option was that it was auto-graded. So I didn't have to go back and grade all of the things, as long as my station managers provided me multiple choice questions. It also allowed us to have future access. As long as I had a Gmail account, I can access this survey. We can use it as a training tool in the future. We can give it to our coaches to test their students before our future competitions. We landed on an 80 question challenge. So there's 80 multiple choice questions. And if the students participate in these 80 multiple choice questions that are broken into the different typical Envirothon stations, then they get a participation prize. And so we're not offering our normal scholarship prizes that we have, because there's not a competition. It's just a participation prize. So what each person will be receiving is South Carolina Envirothon swag. They'll be getting a water bottle and also a vinyl sticker. So we wanted to still allow our students to participate somewhat in an oral presentation if they desired to. So instead of having a typical group oral presentation, we just opened it up to where they could submit it in any format they desired. If they wanted to record themselves doing it, uploaded it into a private YouTube. If they wanted to just do their typical PDF and send it in. This was our first year that we were going to electronic presentations with our program. And so some of our students, we release our scenario in advance of the competition. So our coaches had received it back in February. So some of our students may have already been preparing a presentation. So we wanted to allow them to share that with us if they had it or if they were interested in creating it. And we left that somewhat open-ended. Whatever format they wanted to get it to us in, we were open to that. And so we are going to offer, or are offering, an additional prize if they complete that portion. So it's not required to get the participation prize, but we are encouraging them to do it if they're interested. We opened up the challenge on April 24th, which was our original competition date. And we've had a couple of participants already go through and take the challenge so far. And we have it open until May 15th. We chose to leave it open for a pretty wide window so that we didn't put pressure on the students to get it done on a certain date if they had other obligations during those times. We wanted this to be morale boosting and a fun challenge for them to do when they had time to do it. And so we're hoping to have many more. I've heard from several coaches who are excited, whose students plan to do it. And if anyone has questions about it or needs help setting up theirs, it was very user-friendly. And our coaches were very excited and appreciative that we were doing something for the students. So that is what we're doing.